Good morning. It is day 14. It is day 14 of our Glow Up Strong Challenge. And what is day 14 all about? It's about just moving your body and doing something that brings you joy. So, my name is Nicole, and I'm the owner of UnityFit Home Fitness. Fitness in the convenience of your own space, whatever space it might be. And we are doing a 30-day challenge. It's called Glow Up Strong Challenge. And we're moving our body for 30 days. So, on day 14, it's about moving you, just getting up and doing something that brings you joy, whatever that might be. And normally, like last week, I was at the lake, so we went for a walk. So today, I'm just going to jump on my bike and I'm going to do 10 minutes of pedaling with you. So welcome. So anyway, so before you start any fitness program, make sure you talk to your doctor, health practitioner, or physician just to make sure everything is good. All right, so let's get going. Let's just start pedaling. I'm just going to pedal. Now you could be going for a walk. Maybe you want to dance around the room for like 10 minutes. That's my assault bike. It's called an assault bike, what I'm using. So you can use your arms and your legs at the same time. So we could do both of those. Anyway, so I thought I would jump on and we would have a good conversation while I'm just moving my body. So what can we do? What do you want to talk about? Let's talk about nutrition. Let's talk about health. Let's just have a conversation. Because I think that's great. Conversation is so important. So for those of you that have been on my lives before and join me for our 10-minute challenge, we're usually doing some sort of exercise. Well, today we're just pedaling and we're talking. Because, heck, why not? So on my journey, as I was saying, I'm 53. I haven't told you that yet, but for those of you that have been on my lives before, I'm 53 years old, and I have been doing things today to take care of myself, to help my body, and something my future self will thank me for. It's like I'm doing two things at once, and my brain's going, what are you doing? So I'm doing things today that my future self will thank me for. Super important. So today, on this day 14, and it's doing something that brings joy. This brings me joy. Sharing information, having a conversation, and talking to you. So I hope that the sound is all right and you guys can hear my conversation, but we just want to get moving. I'm like, this is as good as going for a walk. That's great. So I'm using my assault bike. So on this fitness journey that I've been on my health journey, I deal with a thyroid problem. I have hypothyroidism, so your thyroid sits in your neck. So now when I tell you this stuff, or when I'm sharing this information with you, this is my journey and my story. I'm not telling you to do these things. This is just me sharing with you. Now, before you start any fitness program, make sure you talk to your doctor, health practitioner, or a physician just to make sure everything is good. All right? So, like I said, this is my fitness journey. This is my health journey, and these are the things that I've done to help my body with having hypothyroidism. Good morning. How's it going? It's good. How's it going? So I'm just like looking and reading what everybody's saying, so I can stand up on my bike. Anyways, so the information I share is just my knowledge. All right. So in my journey, I have tried many different things to try and heal my thyroid, because your thyroid's sitting here. So number one, I've taken alcohol out. I don't drink anymore. I haven't drank in 4.5 years. I don't have caffeine. I have decaffeinated coffee. That would be number 2. Number 3, I eat keto and carnivore. That's the way that I eat. The only fruits that I have are blueberries, blackberries, some raspberries sometimes, maybe some strawberries, avocado, but meat and fat. That's like my favorite. That's my favorite. And this has been a process, and this has been me learning about my body and figuring out what works the best for my body. And in the process, I have lowered my thyroid medication by half. So the thyroid medication that I use is a desiccated thyroid medication. So a desiccated thyroid medication is something that comes from an animal. So it's an animal's thyroid. It's dehydrated, and that's what I take. And so that has worked the best for me. And like I said, This is something that you have to figure out what works best for you. So the other thing that I do is I do fasting. So I do fasting, and I fast, there's a range from 18 hours up to 24 hours. Sometimes I'll do a 36-hour fast, or I'll do like a 24-hour fast, a 72-hour fast. I'm kind of a little bit all over, depending on where I'm at. And so it's the things that I've been learning. So now, on this journey, of course, people will be just like, well, aren't you worried about heart disease? Now, like I said, this is my journey, and this is the stuff that works for me. So you make your own decisions. I'm not telling you to do anything. You do whatever works. And I have tried everything. I've done vegetarian. I have done low fat. I've done low carb. I've done all of this. And the low carb for me works the best with high fat and protein. Good morning. Thanks so much for being here. I appreciate it. So, yeah, you know what? We're already at 6 minutes and 28 seconds on our bike. And I'm just going for a walk and having a conversation with you. It's not really a walk. I'm just riding on the bike. Anyways, so I want to share with you guys a book. A really good book. Hold on one second here. I'm going to grab my book. Of course, I'm going to pause for a second, but I'm still going to keep doing it because this is bringing me joy, just having a conversation with you. So my favorite book, and I brought them all over here. Okay, this book here. Change Your Diet, Change Your Mind. Okay, her name is Georgia Ed. I don't even know how to say her name, and she's an MD. She's a nutritional psychiatrist. And a client of mine had introduced me to this book last year. And she said, she's a psychologist, and she said, you need to read this book. And it changes the way that we think about food. It changes the way that we think about eating and what's happening to our bodies. And so I never bought it. So fast forward to this year, and I was watching a video on Instagram about, she had made this conversation. She had actually was talking about insulin, I think it was. And I was like, that's interesting. And so I bought the book. I bought the audiobook and I listened to it. In the first chapter, actually in the introduction, she's talking about mental health because she's a psychiatrist. And so she's talking about mental health. And she's explaining about a gentleman that he has been dealing with. I can't remember because it's been a long time since I read it. But with mental health problems. Anyways, fast forward, he changed his diet to a more keto, carnivore-based type of diet and literally has come off his medications. So why this hits home with me is because I have someone very close to me that has dealt with mental health for a very long time. And this person has been on medication and on so many medications. She goes to the doctor and it's take one thing and then you get another thing and then another thing. And I have watched her completely change her life by changing her diet, changing her nutrition. And once I read this book and it was in the introduction, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is about you. You need to read this. And so she got the book and was like, this is crazy. Insulin is so vital and so important to take care of. We have things called insulin resistance that happens now. And what's going on is your body. Okay, so think of this. When we are eating, and every time you eat, so the more times you eat a day, because you know what we've been told in our lifetime, you need to eat small meals a day, like all day long you need to be eating, having those small meals. But do you realize that every time you eat something, your glucose goes up, all right? Then what happens is your insulin kicks in because it has to bring it down. Because if your glucose is going up, insulin's going, I'm here to save the day. But then eventually your glucose goes, or your insulin goes, yeah, I'm tired. I can't do this anymore. And so then we become insulin resistant. So you think about this. Us people, like I'm 53. And so many years ago, I was told that you need to do a low carb diet, a high carb diet with low fat. It was high fat. It was low fat. Remember that? It was low fat and eat a whole bunch of times during the day. So I did all that. Yeah, I did all that. And who knows? Who knows where I was going? Because I'm on high blood pressure medication because of my thyroid. I deal with thyroid. It's crazy. I'm all over. I apologize, but this is just me rambling. And you know what? It's been 10 minutes and 35 seconds already that we've been doing an activity that brings us joy, because that's what this is about. And my activity is on my bike, and it's talking with you because it's bringing me joy, because that's what's important, right? So do something today that brings you joy. I don't care what it is. Get up and get moving. Go for a walk. Do something. So somebody had made a comment on one of my videos, and they had said to me, they said, talk about thyroid when it comes to, say, belly fat, like with our bellies. And it's interesting. So when we go through that change of life as women, we get, like that's one of the first things that people say, well, all of a sudden I got this belly. You know what I mean? And even not with thyroid, it's just like, I got this belly. Where did it come from? Okay, here's something interesting. I don't know if you know this or not, but your adrenal glands sit where your stomach is, okay? So now, when your body doesn't produce estrogen anymore, which means estrogen is produced in your ovaries, but once it doesn't produce estrogen anymore as much, your adrenal glands produce estrogen. Did you know that? Your adrenal glands produce estrogen. So now you've all heard of adrenal fatigue, right? Mm-hmm. So your adrenal glands now, what happens is it's working so hard. This is where the belly comes from. It's that overworked adrenal glands. Now this is just information that I have learned along the way. I'm not a doctor. I'm a nutrition coach. That's what I am. I'm also a fitness coach. That's what I do. So you have to find your own information. You have to do your own research. I'm just sharing the stuff that I have learned along the way, because I've been told that people are like, I've never heard that before. Nobody told me that. Nobody else told me that. No doctors told me that. Did you ever notice that doctors you go into the doctor and they don't say to you, hey, how are you feeling today? I'm not feeling great. Oh, are you depressed? Well, a little bit. Okay, here's a prescription for you, right? Because that's usually what happens. Or I'm really tired. Oh, well, are you not sleeping well? No, not really. Okay, well, here's another prescription. Can we get to the root problem? Can we just get to the problem about why that I'm not sleeping well? Or why am I tired? Don't just give me a prescription. I don't want a prescription. I want to get to the root cause of what is going on. So, anyways, where was I? So when it comes to our bellies, and when it comes to belly fat, and when it comes to here, your adrenal glands can all get all worked over. And then what happens is, that's when you need to calm it down. You need to stop with the adrenal fatigue. And you've all heard of adrenal fatigue. So that's why I took out coffee and caffeine, because your adrenaline, and because it's it's endocrine system, it's all combined. And so I took the caffeine out. So those are the things that I have done. Plus, I've increased my fat. I've increased my percentage of fat within my diet to try and help my body. And it has made a difference. So in the last 2 years, I've actually lowered my medication, my thyroid medication, by half. By changing my diet completely. And that's the number one thing, is what you're putting into your body. So here's something else I bet you didn't know. Did you know that when you go to the doctor and they say to you that if you have high blood pressure, watch your sodium, right? They'll tell you to watch your sodium. Did you know this though? Okay. When we eat too many carbohydrates, and carbohydrates are your pastas and your grains and your fruits and your vegetables, sugars, those are carbohydrates. Okay. So now your body can only process so many carbohydrates at one time, right? So what happens to the rest of the carbohydrates that are not getting processed? Yeah, they're going to be stored as fat. Yeah, that's fat. And it's trans fat. That's what it's being stored as, trans fat. Mm-hmm. So now you've got this being stored as trans fat. So now how do you get rid of it? Well, it just sits there. So now here's something, anything. Hey, good morning. So here's an interesting fact. So when you are when you're eating these carbohydrates that your body can't process, and it's like, oh, what do I do? Your insulin has to go up. Your insulin goes up to try and break down these carbohydrates, to break down what's happening with the glucose. Then you know what happens? Your kidneys hold on to all the sodium. the extra sodium. That's what your kidneys do. And then you know what happens? Your blood pressure goes up. Bet you didn't know that. I found that out. I'm like, well, that's kind of interesting. Do the doctors tell us this? No, they do not. They don't tell you that your blood pressure is going to go up because your kidneys are holding on to sodium. I don't remember being told that when I was put on high blood pressure medication that was caused because of my thyroid and probably because I was a little bit insulin resistant. Didn't know that. I bet you didn't know that either. But they don't tell us this. They don't tell us this. Take care of your insulin. Take care of your glucose. Because you know what? We're not getting any younger. I'm 53. And it's like, I'm doing everything in my power to try and do the best things for myself today because I need to take care of myself for my future self. My future self is looking at me and going, hey, smart dumbass, like smarten up. That's what my future self is telling me. So do things that you're going to be able to, you're not going to regret when you get older. Yeah, that's right. So anyways, book. I'm all over, but I like having these conversations. So this book right here, Change Your Diet, Change Your Mind. Fabulous book. You need to read this book. If you haven't read it before and you don't know what it's all about, get it. She is a psychiatrist. She's a nutritional psychiatrist. The information in here is mind-blowing. It is absolutely mind-blowing. And it makes you realize the things that you need to change. You need to change. Number one book. This is like, I highly recommend this. So the other book, I've got like 4, but I'm just going to kind of touch on a couple of them. And then, next time I do a live, we'll talk about a couple other ones. This other one, it's called Good Energy. Dr. Casey Means, she was a physician, a surgeon. And she was like, what are we doing with inflammation? Like, they're not fixing inflammation in the body, which is causing a lot of problems with the body. Nobody talked about that. Just here's a prescription. But what about the inflammation? If you can heal the inflammation, that's where disease is. Think of it. Arthritis, bursitis, that's itis. That's your inflammation. Tonsillitis. Think of other things. That's what happens. Get rid of the inflammation. But did they tell us how to get rid of inflammation? No. Look at your diet. Look what you're putting in your mouth. That's where the inflammation is coming from. You need to stop that. First thing first, pancreatitis. There's another one. Inflammation. Inflammation. So it's about taking care of yourself and doing things for yourself to make yourself feel better. That's what it's about. I love these conversations. They're just random conversations that I like to have and just share things that I have learned along the way. Am I an expert? No. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, you need to do exactly what I'm doing. Because that's not, you do whatever works for you. I'm just sharing my journey. And I like to share my journey. And it's like, I change things and I've tried different things, but I found the things that work for me. And that's what we all need to do. We got to find out what works for ourselves. Okay, here's something interesting. So I've been dealing with on my hands, like almost like an eczema. All right. So I have tried every lotion possible. And there is no way I want to use a cortisol cream because it's not going to heal it. It's going to maybe mask it. I don't want to mask it. I want to find out what's going on. Anything that comes through our skin, it's internal. It starts internally. Like there's something going on. Our bodies are being affected by something. So I've taken I'll do elimination diets. I've tried all these different things. And I'm like, I don't know what this is, what's going on. So anyways, I did a test. It's called the Carroll Food Intolerance Test. And it was done they do take a little bit of blood. And then what they do is they send it away and they tell you what your food intolerances are. So the one food that I have not taken up, now this is not an allergy test. This is not a sensitivity test. It's actually genetic. Look it up. It's Carroll Food Intolerance Test. Oh yeah, you're so welcome. Thank you. Oh, and you're 53. Cool. Okay. Welcome. Thanks for being here. Okay. So I did this food intolerance test and what came back, the only food that I have never taken out was eggs. I was eating so many eggs and people are like, well, once you heal up, then you'll be able to put the eggs back in. I'm like, no, you can't because it's genetic. This is not a sensitivity because I am sensitive to gluten as well. So I can't have that. It actually was affecting my thyroid. So anyways, I take the eggs out. Literally within a week, I could see a difference in with my hands. Like it was absolutely crazy. There's things we're putting into our body. So it's like, take one thing out. Well, people, and it's interesting. We're like, well, I can't live without this. I don't know. Do you want to be sick? Do you want to still feel like crap? I don't want to feel like crap. I'm tired of feeling crap. It's like, wake up every day with a stomach ache. I'm bloated. I'm puffy. I don't want to feel like that. But we continue on this path and we keep doing things that's causing us problems. But we go to the doctor and he'll give us a prescription. You can guarantee you'll go to a doctor, and if you tell them, you walk in, the first thing you say, I'm not feeling really good. Oh, okay, well, are you this? Here's a prescription. Let's do your blood pressure. Oh, it's a little bit high. Maybe we should put you on high blood pressure medication. But do they ever get to the root of the problem? Do you ever walk into the doctor's office and do they say to you, how are you eating? Are you moving? Are you getting outside? Do you have any activities? Do they ever tell us this or say this to us? I don't know. My doctors haven't done that. If you walk in and go, yeah, I'm feeling this. Oh, are you a little bit depressed? No, I don't think so. Maybe I am. Oh, we better write you a prescription for that. Did you ever think that maybe it's in the things that we're shoving down our face? Read this book. Change your diet, change your mind. You'll understand what's going on. The food that we're eating, the food that we're putting into our body is what's causing all these issues. And you can sit here and you can, thank you, good morning. Oh, thank you so much. Good morning. Do you ever think about that? Like if somebody said to you, okay, here's was another thing that I said the other day. You have here's a jug of water. Okay, let's just imagine this with me. This is a jug of water. Okay, you're drinking this water. Here you go. Drink the water. Okay, so you're drinking the water, and all of a sudden, then they tell you, oh, but there's stuff in there that's not good for you. That stuff in there is going to cause inflammation. That stuff there is going to cause diabetes. That stuff there is going to cause heart problems. But it's okay because I got this little pill that you can take and you can drink the water. Okay? Oh, okay. Are you going to do that? Like honestly, I want you to literally tell me this. Tell me. If I said to you in my water that there's chemicals in there, there's ingredients in there, good morning, would you drink it if I told you that stuff in there is going to cause damage to your body? Here you go, drink it. But you take this pill, you can drink the water. Okay? Yeah, drink the water. Are you going to drink it? Hello, good morning. Are you going to drink it? Of course. Because you know what? You do it every day. Think about that. Think about that. If you're drinking pop, if you're eating potato chips, if you're eating all this garbage, you're shoveling it in. But you know what? Take your insulin. If you're type 2 diabetes or you're on metformin or you're taking those other medications, and I'm not sitting here bashing those medications because we do need them, but I'm telling you to think about this in a different perspective. Think about it in a different perspective. Thank you. Because we do it all the time. You're on high blood pressure medication. Why? Maybe there's something that's genetic, but most of the time it's a crap we're putting in our mouths and not moving your body. Get up and go for a walk. It's really frustrating me. And so when I was told that this issue is with me, that I can't eat eggs because it affects me. I'm like, I won't eat eggs ever again because my body is more important than putting something in my body. Well, eggs are good for you, but they're not good for me. See what I'm saying? This is where the frustration comes in because we just do these things. Well, we keep on going and we keep on eating garbage because we can take a pill because it's easy. That's the other thing. Well, it's not easy, Nicole. I know it's not easy. It's like we know that we should be doing something. So here's something interesting. The other thing that I noticed about it. Hi, Lynn. Oh, good. Awesome. I am so excited for you that you ordered this book, Lynn. Like literally, when you start reading this book, you're just going to sit back. This book here, for those of you guys that are wondering, it's called this one, Change Your Diet, Change Your Mind. When you read this, and it's hard to wrap your head around the things that she's talking about because we've been told other things. Like for how many years? Think about back in the 80s. I want you to go, for those of you that are my age, I'm 53. So go back into the 80s. Let's go back to the 80s, shall we? Remember, or the 70s or whatever. Do you remember when doctors used to say that smoking was good for you? They promoted it. Like, I don't know if you guys remember this. For those of you that are my age, you'll remember in a magazine, there was advertisements in there that the doctors were sitting there with a cigarette. Most doctors recommend Marlboro cigarettes or cool. Like this was, I'm like, I still remember that. They did that. I'm taking pills. That's crazy, Lynn. So when you're dealing with heart problems, and like I said, you have to talk with your doctors as well before, but it's what you're eating. Seed oils, like canola oil and cottonseed oil and palm oil, all this stuff is killing us. I gotta watch what I say because you know what'll happen. I'll end up with something on. It's not making us happy. It's hurting our bodies. Maybe I should say that. Let's use that word. Let's don't use that other word, because that would be bad. Okay, because that's not good. It's the sugars. It's the sugars we're putting out. And do you know how addictive that stuff is? Do you realize how addictive sugar? And people are like, oh, you need to eat it and modify it. What's the word? Don't eat so much of it. Just have a little bit. I can't even think of the word. Do you ever go like, what's the modification? That's not the word I was thinking of. Don't overdo it. Take it easy. Anyways, okay, so here's my thought process when it comes to things like this. And people say, you need to have balance. You need to just have a little bit of this and a little bit of that. All right, so let's say, for example, I'm an addict of some sort, whether it's alcohol or it's drugs. Okay, so I'm a drug addict or I am an alcoholic or something. Oh, good morning. Thanks. Anyways, I'm eating nuts. Would you tell them, do it in moderation? That's the word. Have it in moderation. You would never tell somebody that. Because what happens, it's like one's too much and 10's not enough. So when it comes to sugar, sugar is addictive. It's highly addictive. If I get a bag, you know those little moderation. Yeah, thanks, Lynn. You know those little chocolate but like eggs that you get and they're in the tin foil? I could start eating those and I will eat like literally the whole bag if I start. Or candy, it's like you don't stop because it's like you don't get full. You can keep eating it because it takes that feeling of full. True story. Thank you. You know what I mean? That's why, because it's like it's highly addictive. High fructose corn syrup, highly addictive. So then when it comes to your diet and when it comes to what's going on with you, look at how many carbohydrates you're eating in a day. Look at how many carbohydrates that you're having in a day. And don't eat margarine. That stuff is garbage. Find out the info. Once you get your book and you read this, you're going to be like, this is crazy. It's absolutely mind-blowing. Hey, good morning. Absolutely mind-blowing. I was doing this live for like 10 minutes to do my 10-minute workout for day 14 of our challenge, but I'm like overboard. It's like 30 minutes already on my bike. Whether it's a little bit, but this brings me joy. It's what brings me joy today. So, it's about the inflammation in our body, watching your insulin. We don't want to have, every time your insulin spikes or your glucose spikes, your insulin has to catch up. And then what happens? It causes inflammation and damage in your body. That's what happens. So you need to keep that in control. I appreciate everybody being here. I know it's like I do these quick little lives, but I'd like to do a 30-minute live, like quick, so that I can have these conversations with you. And maybe you can have some questions, but if I can give you one piece of advice or one little piece of information that might make an impact in your life or change something, or you might go, oh, I never knew that. That's what this is all about. I just like to share information that I have learned. Am I an expert? Nope. I'm not going to say I'm an expert. Am I an expert on my body? I'm learning. But I'm getting a lot smarter. Good for you, Lynn. Look at how much your glucose. That's what I would do. Is I would, the other thing that I got a continual glucose monitor on my thank you. On my that you can actually put them on your arm, and it tells you exactly what's happening with your glucose at that time. The continual glucose monitor, I picked one up at Costco, and I wore that for 10 days, and I had to switch and got another one. And very interesting because it actually will tell you what's happening instant. So for those of you that are trying to really dial in your nutrition and dial in what's going on with your bodies, that is a good starting point, is getting those continual glucose monitor, because you can wear them, you can see what's happening and see how what's happening to your glucose. Like instantly. Like to me, that's like, holy crap, I don't want that to happen. And you can see it. See how food affects you. And I think that if some of us were just like, if we did something like that and we could see it, will we keep doing the things that we're doing? Some of us would. I mean, if we were smokers, okay, so here's a full disclosure. Me being completely open and honest, translucent. I smoked. I was a smoker. I quit. I don't even know how many years ago now it is. I think it's like 15 years ago, 10, 11, 12. I don't even know. Yeah, I was. Did I know it was bad for me? Absolutely. Yeah. But I started CrossFit. That's how it started. I started CrossFit, and I thought, I did this 400-meter run, and I thought I was going to, like, my heart, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like, that I stopped. That next day I quit. I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore, because if I want to do this, I can't do that. But it's been these learning processes along the way. We know it's not good for us, but we do it anyways. And why? It's a psychological thing. And because the food is made to become addictive. That's what it is. It's made to be addictive. It is. True story. Because you can't not get enough of it. Think about that. Anyways, I really appreciate these conversations that I have with you, and I want to keep continuing on with them. And because I have another place I need to be, I need to go, another job that I do. So thanks for being here this morning. I appreciate all the comments. And no, I don't. Do I have the urge of, do you battle with it? I don't anymore. About the smoking thing. Somebody's asking a question about smoking. I don't anymore. And that was because it's like, it was kind of one of those things. I was drinking at the same time. So when I was a smoker, and what happened is I was drinking lots. And I would go to the bar, and this is like so long ago, and would be standing outside because all the cool people were standing outside. And so I would drink and I would smoke. Yeah. And then I did a figure competition, and it's like crazy. There's so many, I could tell you so many stories about that. But now, oh, thank you so much. But now I'm like, I don't have that urge to smoke ever again. Like, I don't have that. And the same when it comes to sugar. So that's the other thing. So when it becomes addiction. So when I talk sugar addiction, sugar is an addiction. And I mean, people say, oh, no, you can do it in moderation. There's the word. No, you can't. It's like, you have to make these choices. You have to make, and if you have if you're addicted to it, and once you take it out, you look back and you go, oh, wow, okay. Continue. Right? And it's like, once you figure those things out and you take them out of your body, I don't want to eat sugar anymore because I've seen what it does. I don't want to cause inflammation in my body. I want to get rid of the insulin resistance that was going on. So I read another book. Hold on. I read a lot. I mean, I've got a lot of different books. I listen to them on audiobook because I have a hard time reading sometimes. I'm like, but I buy them. This one, Metabolic Freedom. You guys, I did the 30-day guide to restore. It's the 30 days of restoring your metabolism. These are the things that we need to be aware of, because if you're not aware, this is what happens. So you turn 30, you go through menopause, or you go through that change of life, and all of a sudden things start happening. you gain weight and then you start to not feel good and then you get high blood pressure, you get diabetes. Like like think about it. So then I went to the doctor and, oh, you put me on high blood pressure medication. And then, oh, look, then there's with diabetes, or you might get diabetes. Like, it's all these things. If you have parents or you have if you're my age, think about that. What happens as you go along? I've dealt with thyroid disease for 25 years. After I had my second child, he's now 25, that's when that started. And it started me thinking that I had postpartum depression. That's what happened. And it was my thyroid that wasn't working anymore. And then you go on synthetics. Oh, here, we're going to put you on a synthetic. Okay, so why don't we get to the problem why my thyroid isn't working? No, they don't do that. We're just going to put you on a prescription, right? And then it goes from there. Then high blood pressure came along. Now, did the high blood pressure come along because of my thyroid? Or did it come along because of insulin resistance? I won't ever know. But that is a cause of that. That's one of those symptoms. One of the signs of insulin resistance. True story. Read this book. Get this book. Go out and order this book. I'm promoting the book, but I am not getting this. I'm not affiliated with the book. I am not anything. I'll tag it and I'll put it in the comments. But I love sharing information with people. That's my whole my purpose is to share the things that I have learned, and I love sharing. I love sharing stuff. I'm also a hairstylist. Like, that's my number one. I've done that for 33 years. 33 and a half years. Graves' disease. Health is key. Yes, exactly. Our health is number one. And if without health, we have nothing. And it's like people will say, well, just eat in moderation and have a balanced diet. Well, what is balanced to one is not balanced to another. Like, I mean, I don't eat this, but I eat this. Oh, but you need to have this. Why? Who says? And who made the rules? I don't know if you guys noticed, but we're not getting any healthier. We're this right now. Tell you the secret of longevity of life. You know what? I don't quite know what the secret of, like, everybody's longevity, but my secret of I'm 53, so I'm here now. So, but I think it's living a good life. I think it's putting food into your body that you not live to eat, but you eat to live. Do you eat to live or live to eat? Because if you live to eat, then you're eating the stuff that makes your body, it's a dopamine hit. When you're eating sugar, it's a dopamine hit, and you immediately will feel good. So you're going to have some sugar. And it's like, wow, yes, I feel great. Think about that. You have a little bit of sugar and you get all excited and it feels really good. And then all of a sudden you crash. Oh, I got to go get another head of sugar. Because that's what happens. You eat to live. So when I say eat to live, I want you to think about this. My body needs food to sustain my body, to sustain my everyday life. So I need to eat to be alive. Does that make sense? If I am living to eat, that means I'm just eating. I would wake up in the morning, I can't wait to eat my food. I'm going to go get myself a milkshake. I'm going to go get myself some fast food. That's living to eat. If you're eating to live, that means I am eating to sustain my body. My diet consists of, I changed my diet to a carnivore diet. I know there's always this controversy about do what works for you. I'm not telling you to eat the way I eat. You do what works for you, boo. You do, boo. You do whatever works. I eat for myself, and I know what works for my body. I can't eat vegetables. I took them out 2 years ago. I won't ever put them back again. But Nicole, what about fiber? You need to eat fiber. Okay. But you know what? It gives me a stomach ache. It makes me bloated. It makes me feel uncomfortable. Do I have any supplements? Sometimes I'll take protein powder. I have some protein powder I take. I take a colostrum powder, and collagen. But usually I don't take any supplements, a lot of supplements at all. Just, that's it. So think about that. right? Like, okay, so if vegetables make me feel sick, like I would eat red peppers, instant stomachache. But you should eat them because they're good for you. If I ate too much, here's something interesting. When I ate too much spinach and kale, because it's good for us, right? This is what they were told. Go and eat your kale and go and eat your spinach. So many years ago, my doctor, I was eating like lots of kale and I was cooking it and I was coconut oiling it and all this other stuff. And my thyroid was off like, she's like, I don't know what the hell is wrong with your thyroid. She goes, but it's starting to autoimmune itself. So she sent me to an endocrinologist. She sent me about superfoods. My superfoods are beef and butter. That's my superfood. I don't really eat a lot of the superfoods that they say are good for us because I can't digest it. It doesn't feel good. So my doctor sent me to see an endocrinologist. And the endocrinologist, I'm not word of a lie, he looked at me and goes, well, you don't look like you have a thyroid problem. Well, thanks, tips. I'm glad I'm here. So he sent me to blood work to see if I was celiac. My doctor and my other doctor, she said to me, you know what, you're not celiac, but you have the proteins that are, like you shouldn't eat them. They won't hurt, like they're not going to end you, but you shouldn't eat them. So I took that out. So anyways, but did I link it to maybe eating the greens? So I found out later on that when it comes to eating lots of greens when we have thyroid disease, it's not good for us. Look into that. And don't just, like I said, like this is just, do your research, find your research, go and look up to things. I took that out. I took that out 2 years ago. I haven't had greens in like 2 years. I don't eat vegetables. Well, what about fiber? Well, let me tell you, it all goes through and it's moving. So here's a question for you. Here's a question for you. So if we're supposed to, when we eat fiber, because I mean, this is what we're told, we need to eat fiber. Do you know that fiber, like there's insoluble and there's soluble, so your body can actually absorb some of it, but the other stuff is insoluble. So you know what it does? Think about this. You eat corn, okay? Or let's be real, and I'm gonna eat some corn. Y'all know what's coming. You know it's not. It's like, oh look, I thought I chewed that. I'm gonna leave it at that because I know you know what I'm talking about. You know it doesn't. Your body doesn't absorb it. It's easier to bulk food up and to push things out. Fiber is also used to slow down glucose. Yes. So, if I'm not eating a bunch of food that has a ton of sugar in it, my body doesn't need to slow it down. And I still am very regular because that's the big question. Well, I'm not going to be able to do this. Oh, I don't have a problem with it. I'm probably more regular now than I ever was. And my inflammation has gone down. So I don't eat that. I don't eat a lot of fruit either. Well, what about vitamin C, Nicole? Or what about you're going to get scurvy. You've heard those conversations before. It's like, there's different, like, I can go read this book. She explains it. Like I said, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a physician. I'm not a health practitioner. I'm a nutrition coach. I can coach you on how you should be eating. And I'm a fitness coach. Those are my two things. I'm also a hairstylist of 33 and a half years. Yes. So I've been doing hair for 33 and a half years. And I'm still standing behind the chair. I don't have shoulder issues. I don't have elbow, whatever, maybe a little bit here and there. But you'll always hear girls will be like, oh, my back hurts and my shoulders hurt and I've got carpal tunnel and I don't have any of that stuff. Find a hairstylist that's behind the chair for that long and they still are in a good body. So, what's a good name diet? Okay. So, I think that's what you said. What's your good name? I'm Nicole. All right. So I want you to think about that. I need to get off here because I need to go get ready for my other job. It's very important. I appreciate everybody being here. I want to have more of these conversations. I love these conversations. I love sharing my knowledge and the things that I have learned. There's so much information out there. It's like we don't even know where to go. We don't even know where to go and what to do. And we're told to do this and told to do that. But I mean, when I started this conversation, I shared with you, back in the 70s and the early 80s, if you go back to that, I'm 53, so I remember this. And I remember in magazines, and there was doctors sitting with cigarettes. Your doctor recommends this. Nowhere to, you can find those advertisements. Go look for it. Go look for it. And I'll guarantee you that when you go in to see your doctor, that he doesn't tell you about what you're eating is what is going to fix things. Not normally you go into a doctor's office and he's sitting there with his prescription pad. So how are you feeling? Oh, you're feeling a little depressed, are you? Here you go. You're not sleeping well? Oh, okay. Here you go. You have weight gain? I can fix that. Oh, your blood pressure's high? Am I wrong? I'm not wrong. And everyone knows that I'm not wrong. You go into the doctor's office, they don't look at you and go, hey, blah, blah, blah. How are you feeling? What are you eating? That's not the first question. What are you eating? Oh, I'm eating a diet I love my burgers and fries. I love my milkshakes. I like my fast food. Oh, okay. Did you know that the stuff is all processed? Would a doctor go, do you know all that stuff is really processed? It's not good for you. You should probably increase your protein and eat some good fats. Because butter is not bad for you. It's not the butter that's bad for you. It's the oil and all the other garbage that is being cooked on. I don't know. Has anybody heard a doctor talk like that before? When I went to see my doctor 2 years ago and I had switched over to carnivore, was where I went to. I went to carnivore first because there was so much inflammation in my body. And I do naturopath and I do other types of health as well. As I believe there's more than just one way to do things. And the reflexologist, he's like, you have a lot of inflammation in your intestines, in your colon, in your stomach. Your body is really inflamed. He goes, I would recommend looking into the carnivore diet. I'm like, what is that even about? So I looked into the carnivore diet, and he didn't tell me much about it, but I did a lot of research on it. And I stopped eating the way I was eating, and I switched over to carnivore. And went in to see my doctor in October of 2023, and he looks at me, and I was going in because I wanted to change my thyroid medication to a desiccated thyroid medication, which comes from a pig's thyroid, which gives you all your levels, but it's prescribed by a doctor. Okay. Again, this is just me sharing my information. You do what works for you. He looks at me, goes, you're looking really good. Like, you're looking really healthy. I'm like, well, thank you. He goes, so whatever. He's writing me out. I said, I want to switch to desiccated. Yeah, for sure. And I was really nervous about telling him about doing carnivore because my first thought was like, he's going to say I'm going to have high blood pressure. It's going to cause high cholesterol, blah, 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 all those things. And so then I said to him, I've been doing carnivore. He looks at me, he goes, that's one of the best ways to eat. I literally almost fell off my chair. I'm like, oh, this is so good. So he knows this is what I do. Anyway, so we tested my cholesterol. We tested everything, and my cholesterol at that time, a year and a half ago, was at 8.44. The sirens are going to go off. You need to get off that medication. You need to stop doing what you're doing and go on cholesterol medication would be the thing. And he knows I won't take it. He goes, I would just increase this or do that. Thank you. And so I didn't go on any cholesterol medication. I continue eating my fat and my butter and all that other stuff. And I just had it checked about 3 months ago. And it's down to 5.14. No medication. Eating butter and eating meat. And exercise. And doing leg exercise. So, what I'm saying is look into things before you just take it at face value that this is what I need to do. Yes, I now switched. I have some avocado and I have some blueberries and I have some green apples. Very mild. But I don't live to eat. I eat to live. So I put into my body what my body is going to use. At 53 years old, I feel great. And it's like, do I get bloated and puffy? Yeah, for sure. I'm a woman, whatever. But my body is in a good place. I appreciate everybody joining me today. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure you hit that like and follow button so that you can join me again. Let's go live again. Let's have these conversations because these are important, and I'll share more information. If you have questions, send me a message, write it in the video, and let me know. So much love to all of you. I appreciate everybody coming here and joining me today. And I will see everybody again. Remember, it's day 14 of our Glow Up Strong Challenge. Get out, go for a walk, do something that makes you happy. This brought me joy. Being here and having a conversation with you and sharing what I know brings me joy. So much love to all of you. I will see everybody again. And enjoy your Monday. Have a marvelous, magnificent Monday, everyone. And I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, bye. See you tomorrow. Bye, see you tomorrow. Bye.